Karen, do you know where Spillum went?
Yeah, I know where it's at.
You do?
Uh-huh.
And you off?
No.
Lafayette, College Hill.
Nope.
Where is it?
She's sitting on that.
I'm sitting on it.
Oh.
Here.
No.
That's
Is
not
this?
mine.
Oh.
Mine is the Eagles, man.
Oh
You can have
no,
that.
I haven't seen any of them. Is it under? Is it underneath?
No, don't worry about it.
Somebody may have.
Those who can't see my eyesight, I'm short. My wife told me to get a pillow so she can see me.
There may be
Sure.
business
Let's speak after.
planners would care about.
Make sure yeah, it was okay.
Did I bring sugar with me?
Sugar. I don't know what you be doing after, but I don't do that.
What you want?
I don't do what you do.
I know you like brown sugar.
I'd like to call this stated session of City Council to order. Please rise for the invocation followed by the pledge of the flag. Father, we come before you today in humility and faith. We thank you for all you've given to our city and our residents. Show us the way and fill us with courage and wisdom to make the best decision for our city. Give us the patience and understanding as we face challenges with grace. We also ask that you watch over our police and fire, especially the Kiwanis Club's Officer of the Year, Officer Jeff Crossan. It is our police and firefighters who keep our residents safe. Tonight we also ask that you watch over Captain Terrence Hand's daughter, Alex, as she graduates from the Naval Academy and begins her duty, begins active duty. We ask this in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Ettinger.
Here.
Mr. Pinnabone.
Here.
Mrs. Rose. Dr. Ruggles.
Here.
Ms. Sultana. Mayor Panto.
Here. Approval of the agenda.
Move to approve?
Second.
Moved and approved. Moved and second. Any additions or anything? Roll call.
Mr. Ettinger.
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone.
Aye.
Mrs. Rose.
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles.
Aye.
Ms. Sultana.
Aye.
Mayor Panto.
Aye.
And Mr. Brown.
Aye.
At this time, we have public comment on agenda items only. If anybody has any comments they'd like to make on agenda. Mr. Councilman, you're here. Why don't you come and sit at our kids' table? Administration table. David O'Connell's here, was on city council for 4 years. Come on up. Sit down.
Not front.
You're good on it? Okay. You must have saw the sign at the church. Come early if you want a back seat.
Yeah, they did.
My pleasure.
That's who it was.
Okay, is there anyone from the public like to talk about agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on to consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Whatever presentation.
Do we have to do
There's no presentation.
What am I looking at?
We did public comment. We're on act.
on
consent
the
agenda.
minutes?
The minutes.
I'm sorry, minutes.
Oh, action on the minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, we did it. I had it
We did.
crossed off.
Then
Action on the minutes of our meeting on May 8th.
We did. Kenny, Kenny moved it, I seconded it.
Yeah, we did it.
Then we have.
That's what I thought.
And then we voted. Roll call.
Okay, consent agenda. We have a resolution authorizing the DCED to apply for a Grow Norco plant grant program. And we have a few certificates, COAs, one for 140 Northampton Street, a COA for 138 Bushkill Street, 124 North 4th Street, 45 Larry Holmes Drive, 34 to 43 South 2nd Street, 91 Larry Holmes Drive, 320 Ferry Street, 536 Northampton Street, and 27 3rd Street. We also have a resolution for the Community Conservation Partnerships Grant Project closeout.
Is there a motion to accept the consent
Motion.
agenda? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Second. Questions or comments on the resolutions and the, that deal with the consent agenda? Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
I'll receive the reports from the fire department for April and March and April. We'll move right on to committee reports. Vice Mayor Brown, Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a report this evening, but I do have our director here, Mr. Sinecki, which will be giving us an update on April. Mr. Sinecki, if you can.
Great, thank you, Mr. Brown.
Council will find a copy of the April year-to-date financials on your, or next to your, I guess, at the dais, along with highlights for April year-to-date. At this point, there are no real items of concern, but I would ask you to please review and please reach out, email, phone call, what have you, if you do have any questions. And we can also try to address those in a committee meeting if you'd prefer. And that's my report.
Thank you. That's all I have there.
Okay, Economic Development Committee, okay.
I was driving by the construction site up at Lafayette the other day and saw how many people are working there. Are we collecting their EIT?
We've reached out to Keystone, to our EIT collector, to check on so we did get a list from the college as far as who the contractors are and the subcontractors. We've reached out to Keystone asking them to confirm that they are submitting basically payroll accordingly. So splitting out their job between what's done in Easton versus what's done elsewhere.
A lot of people.
But there are a lot of people, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Next door as well, too.
Yeah.
Economic Development Committee, Mr. Pinnabone, Councilman Pinnabone?
Thank you, Mayor. Our new employee, Rachel Roseman, started today. We were going to bring her, but we decided to let her get her feet wet before we threw her in front of council. So she'll be coming forward to introduce herself soon. The city received a new award from EPA for a brownfield cleanup grant to assist with the Eastern Iron and Metal property over in Bushkill, $500,000. The department continues to write grants at a prolific pace, and we're currently working on 6 new applications with requests totaling $600,000 that are expected to be submitted by the end of June for parks, roads, and the new police evidence building down on 611. Last night, I attended the Easton School Board meeting where I formally requested the $30,000 contribution for the basketball courts at Vanderveer. We're spending $312,000 for the rest of the park and asked them to contribute $30,000 and we'll cover the rest. We didn't have any pushback. They agreed to put it on the agenda for June, their final committee and regular board meeting before they vacation until September. Vanderveer, I made the pitch to at least open Vanderveer to the West Ward, Cottingham, sorry, at least one day a week to see how it works. There was concerns prior from board members that what if it was time to close to secure and people didn't leave. I talked to Scalzo. Easton Police Department will close up the stadium every night, so the West Ward public can use the stadium. Parents can walk, kids can play. We're going to do it on the trial for one day, and hopefully we don't have any issues. If it does, they'll probably shut it down. So that's good news for the West Ward since we don't have much green space over there. Mayor told me to bring here, I put together something for codes to update regarding political signs. My resolution will be next in June at committee. So if anybody has any questions or comments, we're going to give 5 days, or I'm proposing 5 days after the election to remove signs from public property. If they're not, the codes department or public works will grab them, whoever, when they see them, and it'll be a $25 fine per sign to the candidate. So that'll come back. That should come in as an ordinance, I think.
Yeah, ordinance.
Yes, ordinance.
Okay.
And I think don't we have one ordinance placed already that former council member Peter Milan introduced? Is it something different?
For him, I think.
The one that I know of that I checked is on the books. You have 30 days and there's no consequences for not doing it. 30 days is just way too long. And if people end up forgetting about it, it turns to litter. There's still signs from 2 races ago laying around Southside and downtown. So I'm gonna propose 5 days, and then after that we'll collect them and a fee will be imposed to the candidate. And the best news, my second granddaughter was born Saturday night.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's it. That's all I have, Mayor.
Planning and Coach Committee, Councilmember Rose?
The only update that I have today is I believe the mayor will be covering the personnel updates in the Planning and Codes Department, and I'm looking forward to working with the new team there. That's all I have. Thanks.
Public Safety Committee, Councilmember Ruggles.
Yeah, just wanted to update council. We are going to be receiving our LiDAR.
Yay.
Training will be July 9th through 11th.
police department is going to have it at their, facility. And, the way this works is they bring our LiDAR and we train on it, and then they leave and this LiDAR stays. So that means that by that time we should have it. So hopefully by the end of the summer, we'll have adopted the procedures needed, and it will be in operation.
Good news.
Public Safety Committee, Public Works Committee rather, Councilmember Enninger.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report tonight. I do, however, have a bunch of resolutions on the agenda that I'll be introducing tonight. I also, just to inform everybody, I will not be at attendance at the next council meeting. I'll be away.
Okay, Mr. Enninger, thank you. Administration Committee, Councilmember Sultana.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to update on the Home Easton. We had a meeting last week, and we discussed the budget and, not the budget, the ARPA fund money to hire people to start off our organization. And the other thing, I want to talk about the Asian American History Month. Since it's the month, we like to celebrate Asian American months to honor the resilience, creativity, and contribution of the Asian Americans. This month has been designated as Asian American Heritage Month to celebrate the history and achievement of API, from the immigrant who helped build the transformational railroad to the activists fighting for civil wars and civil rights and social justice today. Asian American and Pacific Islander have played a vital role in shaping the rich tapestry of East for American society. It is very important to recognize and celebrate the diverse culture, traditions, and experiences of the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, and to continue to work toward creating a more inclusive and equitable society for all. So I have invited some of the small business owners who run small businesses in the city of Easton to recognize their importance and their contribution to the local economy. I have some certificates for them. Mayor, if you want to help out and if you want to say something, you go ahead.
I'd like to see the certificates. And is this from you or from the council?
It's from the council, city of Easton.
Okay, then I think council has to
Yeah.
approve it first.
We have to approve first?
Well, yeah, we don't have
Okay.
certificates.
That's what it came from.
Yeah, you can't take act if it's not on the agenda. Well, if it wasn't on the agenda 24 hours, I mean, this is, harmless stuff, but I don't think the city could formally do it. I would suggest that perhaps it would be appropriate for Ms. Sultana to read who the recipients are,
Yeah.
acknowledge them, and then if the council wants to, we could put on the agenda for next meeting to confirm the grant of the or the issuance of those certifications. But I don't think you could take action tonight.
I just want to add to that also. I think that'd be nice if we can put that on the city's certificate letterhead.
I have no idea
You wanna
what
take a look,
certificate's
Mr.
on.
Brown? Mr. Brown? And maybe Mr. Frankenamo. It's just to recognize the Black History Month. Asian American History Month.
I think the Asian American Pacific Islanders is a great idea to do that, but I think you were very late. I mean, it's May 22nd. We should have been doing this in April to commemorate May as the month to recognize AAPI. So I would be more than in favor of putting it on the resolution for next year, but.
No, this is not on the resolution.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
This is not on the resolution. This is just
It's what is.
acknowledgement or honoring the small businesses who contribute to the economy of the city of Easton. This is not the resolution.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it would have been done at the same time. The resolution and
I pulled
and
out the resolution.
certificate.
Yeah, I pulled out the
And
resolution.
normally, this is just an FYI, the mayor usually, the mayor's administration usually does that too, if we know it ahead of time. But that's a great opportunity.
So I would like to give them away because there is no resolution. I pulled that out.
If the city council's okay with it, I'm okay with it.
They're right here now. so-
They're here. They already
I think
Joe.
you can't.
We ca-
You could recognize. You could
We can
you could
recognize that-
report and recognize, but you can't take formal action unless it was on the agenda 24 hours, within the
It-
last 24 hours.
Yeah, it was on the agenda, it was mentioned.
On the
And,
agenda.
and I was told to,
Presentation of the certificates is on the agenda,
it's on the agenda,
not a resolution, though.
no, not a resolution.
I'm only looking at the, at the agenda I have in front of me. I don't know what was posted the last 24 hours.
No, it was,
It's on-
it was,
Under her,
Reports of
it's under,
committee,
yeah.
Oh,
under her report.
oh, I'm sorry. All right,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So I have some names. First of all, I want to go with the business who actually provide me coffee every day. So, Mr. K. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that's, yep. Thank you for serving us coffee every day. Sora, my good friend. Sora was at an Indian restaurant in Southside in Casa.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to stop in.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Easton.
That breakfast is great.
Yes, my good friend, Sabita, a woman entrepreneur, serves us Indian masalas. Do we have anybody from Sakti Brahman? Do we have somebody from 1001 Thai? Imperial Garden? Aman Artisan? Sogo? Centur Grill? I'm glad I got to quote all those names. I need your help. And do we have anybody from Self Solution? Oh, all right. Then probably that's all we have, and I will send out all the, certificates to other businesses who could not show up for some reason. Yeah. And, any other business that I'm missing? Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming out, and thank you for your contribution to the local economy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Ms. Campos, your name's on there? Okay, okay.
If anybody wants to leave, you are free to leave. Wanna stay, you can stay.
I'll talk about that in the meeting. Protocol.
Report of the mayor. I just want to mention a couple things. The code of conduct was sent out for your recommendations. I did get some recommendations back, and I got the solicitors reviewed it. We went over it this morning. I'll be making some major changes to the format, and we won't be voting on it until June 25th. I will not be here at the next meeting, but I will be calling in for my vacation.
Can I go?
I will be here June 25th and
16th, next meeting.
not the 11th and 12th. Also want to mention that this Saturday night is the big night in downtown Easton. It's the Easton Twilight Criterium, which is the bike race, which we will see professionals and amateurs, but mostly the professional races are fabulous. It's like the Grand Prix, but only on bicycles. So they drive through the city streets. Also want to mention that City Council is invited on June 7th to graduation of the Fire Academy. We have 6 graduates in there this year. And also, the Moose is very busy getting ready to promote their events, the Mayor's Office of Special Events. We will be having our pop-up festivals in the neighborhoods again. We'll have a cruise night, comedy fest. You'll get a full, the Mayor's Summer Youth Camp. It starts in June for anybody that or July rather. Anybody knows anybody wants to be in that. Movies in the park. We'll have a movie in Neighborhood Center, Vanderveer, and Nevin Park. We also have Senior Fest, which we're
Yes.
Dr. Ruggles and I cooked the lunch for the seniors, and we have a band. We have Lucky 7 playing that day. We have bingo with prizes for downtown. Merchants will donate, and then we also have, of course, the big festivals. Like Heritage Day. And I should mention that Heritage Day is going to be, we're preparing already for 2026, which is the nation's 250th birthday. And of course, having the public reading of the third public reading of the Declaration of Independence in Easton is very important to us, as well as having one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, George Taylor. So we'll look at that. Our Peace Candle lighting is on November 30th, which will be highlighting the Winter Village, which is also will run every weekend and through to December 22nd. So we have a number of things, but the big one we're going to announce is our cruise night. Our first cruise night is June 15th, and we'll be featuring the Duprees,
Yes,
which
sir.
is the 60s national recording stars. They'll be in Easton, the Duprees. You don't know them.
No, but Frankie wants to sing with him anyway.
I have no idea.
You know the praises?
Your dad
Sorry
knows.
for you.
Your father knows who they are.
Crystal, can we get somebody from like the 90s or something?
They're too
Yeah,
expensive.
we need to work on that.
Still too expensive. They're still too expensive. So we're looking forward to that first event to kick off our city's newest band shell. The band shell that we had is we're looking at ways of donating it to Phillipsburg, New Jersey. They've requested it. We have to get indemnification signed. It's that old. We don't let it out of the city anymore, but we will gladly donate it to Phillipsburg if they agree to abide by the indemnification of any injuries that would be sustained. The city's held harmless. I played on that stage when I was 10 years old, so that's 62 years old, and that wasn't new then. It was probably 5 or 6 years old. So the new one is a $197,000 state-of-the-art band shell with all hydraulics, so the men don't have to crank the door up. We're looking forward to having that on June 15th, and that'll be right in the circle, and we'll have the Duprees.
I can't wait.
Mr. Solicitor, your report, or let's go to Mr. Administrator first. Hold on, Mr. Rabbits has a. Senior Fest is always the senior day, August 21st.
All right,
Louis.
just two quick things. And speaking of special type of events, our open, I guess our pop-up event, if you will, at the parks in this past week at Pioneer has been fairly successful. And I don't know if you guys have had any input on your end. I mean, it seems like things have tamed down.
Yeah.
It was an excellent night. Val did a great job.
Yeah, so, I mean, amongst other things, besides keeping the peace, if you will, with Val Davis there on behalf of the city, the police department usually had some sort of presence in terms of just community relations showing up. Some of the officers were playing what's called different games that we had available with the kids. But one of the most
Bean bags.
what's
Ever
it
heard of
called?
cornhole?
Cornhole. I don't.
Bing bags.
In Easton, we call it bean bags.
No, this is
Youngster.
the term changed in
It's still
2015.
being banned, by the way.
In 2015, it changed to beanbags.
When it made ESPN, it
Yeah.
got changed.
Yeah, right.
All right, you guys got me. All right, all right. So anyway, I thought it was going well. I think from a community safety aspect, it's going in the right direction. We're going to continue to do that. We are going to also then pivot and look at other parks, in particular Centennial.
we're using CDBG funding from this. It's unused funding from past years that was eligible from the police department, so you know where the funding's coming from. And amongst other things, I think there were not only complaints about the rowdiness of the park, or how rowdy it would get, so things have tamed down a lot, obviously. But the second part was the litter. So Val is actually, not only we're giving away prizes for winning games and things of that nature, like a rec shirt, if you will, but they're cleaning up, like all the kids are cleaning up. So it's been pretty good.
Pizza last night.
Pizza, she bought pizza for
Val brought pizza, and immediately all the kids cleaned up. She said, "I'm not giving a slice unless
good.
everyone cleans up." And
what was it?
That's the way to go.
it was
Some,
done.
some of those kids, that was their dinner.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
It could have.
Very true.
It could have been. I'm going to reimburse Val, obviously, but she got a $12 pie, and it went a long way. And then the other thing, and I would encourage you guys to stop in and say hello to Val. I know I've seen the mayor there, Frank, you've been there, etc. So the second thing is Easton Emergency Squad, and just to wrap it up, on the 15th, Easton Emergency Squad went, if you will, live, fully live. We became fully serviced by them again. They were able to get staffing levels up to where they can service the city and our residents 24/7, which was important.
They have a new director too, don't they?
Excuse me.
Have a new executive director.
So they have they're bifurcating that role.
Okay.
One person to work on operations.
They have a director of operations.
Yeah, and then the other person to be of a budget person. So they have operations and budget. But they do. I mean, that's where they're going. But most importantly, their staff is up to 100%. And then the board too. We had a series of meetings with the board, and we wanted to make sure that certain criteria was in place in order to service the city. And they met those criteria, so we went back and forth. Not so in an informal agreement, if you will. And amongst other things, our deputy chief will be meeting now, at least on a monthly basis, with their board, at their board meetings. And we'll be reviewing all of their board material. So that's a big positive step, because we haven't been doing that in the past. And I think when they closed down abruptly, there was a lack of communication between Easton EMS and the city for whatever reason. I guess things have been running smoothly, if you will, for a while. But they've opened up the boardroom and executive sessions to our deputy chief and myself. If a council member wants to attend, let me know so we can set that up, and you guys can attend there, just so you can understand their operations. So overall, I think we're headed in the right direction. Just wanted to give that update.
We also met with St. Luke's Easton campus concerning the same thing, and they have offered whatever they can do. So we're very fortunate.
Yeah, their CEO and VPs and director of their emergency room met with the mayor and I, and they said that we were handling it appropriately.
Right.
So they felt good the way we were managing it.
Are they back to being the primary?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
As of the 15th.
As of the 15th. Yep.
We gave Bethlehem Township at least 2 weeks' notice
Right.
to make their changes. Anything else, Mr.
No,
Campos?
that's it.
Okay, moving on to next item on the agenda is
The one before. The next item on the
Oh,
agenda.
now it's
is
you.
Yeah, it's the one before.
it's you.
On the agenda. Prior to our meeting tonight, and the reason the meeting began a little late is because we had an executive session that covered a number of employee personnel matters, as well as potential litigation. And in that regard, I'll report officially that there was, I've been given authority to file a notice of intervention on a pending zoning appeal matter involving property at 300 Morrison Avenue. This is the old Cygnus site where where apartment complex is being proposed, and the Planning Commission had recommended against it out of concerns as to the of how it fit in with neighborhood, but most importantly, I believe congestion. The zoning hearing board, who's the one who makes the decision, planning commission only makes a recommendation. This is on the specific issue of a special exception. The zoning hearing board voted unanimously to deny the special exception. The owners, the applicant, has filed an appeal to the Court of Common Pleas in Northampton County. The zoning hearing board will defend. There were a lot of neighbors in attendance who are represented by counsel, who I presume will also intervene. The city has a right to intervene as well. So I will do that, and I just wanted council to be aware. We talked about that a little bit at the executive session as well, and that's the extent of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Shear. There's no correspondence, there's no unfinished business. Move right into new business, Madam Clerk.
Sure, we have bill number 15, amending the handicap parking program. Okay. Bill number 15.
So introduced, so moved.
Yeah.
Second.
Bill number, yeah. Bill number 16.
Oh, sorry.
Can I make a comment about Bill 16? I just wanted to see if we could table Bill 16 to the next meeting. I'm planning to meet with Louis, our city administrator, hopefully get a date on the calendar next week to discuss what the waiting list procedure would look like. I am personally in favor of it, but I just think we need to define it a bit more before we vote
Number
on
16?
it. Yes, for Bill
Are you
16.
making a motion to table?
15.
Yes.
Or do you mean,
Second. Moved and second to table bill number 16. Roll call.
that was 16.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Well, we're probably
on the table.
we're probably going to resubmit it because so I would just remove it altogether.
Oh.
Oh,
So
just
move
remove
it.
Yeah.
Move the re-
I'll make a motion to remove.
Okay, and still second by Mr. Fidwell.
Okay.
Okay.
And
15
it's the,
will give Mr. Gill, the health officer, when it's apparent that the person really is handicapped, or the authority to not have to wait till the health leaves.
moving it.
Bill number 17.
Okay, roll call for the
Removal.
removal. Okay. Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger,
Aye.
Mayor Panto,
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone,
Aye.
Mrs. Rose,
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles,
Aye.
and Mrs. Sultana.
Aye.
Okay. Bill number 17, approving an easement agreement with Northampton County.
So introduced.
Mr. Hopkins, you want to just update City Council what exactly that is about our VFD?
So as part of our MS4 permit, the city's, it's a 5-year permit, which is actually up in June. The city's required to build best management practice facilities for the removal of stormwater, sediment and stormwater rather. We don't have a lot of our own properties that are in the drainage basin for the Lehigh River. So we started partnering with other organizations. We're working on another easement agreement with the school district, which was approved last night. That will be coming before City Council, and this easement agreement allows us to build. It's more like a rain guard drainage basin, and try to capture all of their parking lot water. It'll be built on the end closer to Praxis.
This has nothing to do with anything. This is a question for you. The building that was the former Jacobs on Northampton Street, I noticed that they stopped work. I know they put the wall back up and so on and so forth. Is there any reason why there's a stop?
I don't think it stopped. They were working there the other day when
Okay.
we were on the intersection.
Okay.
So I know they have their stair tower complete.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the wall delayed them a little bit, but I think they're still working.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Sure. We have a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Easton and the Easton Area Joint
Please
Sewer
come up again, Mr. Hopkins, because a lot of.
Authority.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
So what we're applying for is a federal environmental and climate justice grant. The grant requires a nonprofit partner, which we chose Nurture Nature because I think they were the right organization for that. And the Sewer Authority is our partner. They actually funded us hiring Delta to help submit the grant. It is a really heavy lift from an administrative point as far as federal grants go. We're asking City Council to approve an MOU with the Sewer Authority and a partnership agreement with Nurture Nature tonight. The substance of the grant is we'd like to ask for approval to apply up to $15 million. There is no match for that. The bulk of the money will be used for the authority to construct a combined heat and power system, which is basically a way of generating electricity by burning the methane that we produce from anaerobic digestion at the wastewater plant. And it will also include a fats, oils, and grease receiving facility, which helps boost the amount of methane and increases the amount of electricity that we can produce. That's probably, about a $7 million part of the grant. Another big part is the separation of the city's combined sewers. We've proposed, I think, 5.2 or 5.5 million, which we're hoping could get us nearly all of the existing combined sewers that we know of. So, and our combined system is really like North 4th, North 3rd, North 2nd. The main trunk goes down Bushkill Street, comes around Larry Holmes Drive, and then there's the combined sewer overflow by Spring Garden Street where it discharges into the Delaware River, usually only during extremely heavy rains. But if we can separate it, it will help the Sewer Authority by reducing flow down at the plant, and it's also a boost in the environment. And then the remainder of the grant is, the third item is a direct-to-consumer portion, where we would make environmental and climate kits, which would include low-flow fixtures, maybe LED bulbs. We haven't really figured that out exactly, but it's a popular, or it's more of a desired part of the funding source that wants to see some type of direct-to-consumer. So we've proposed 6,000 kits that we would give out. Maybe we would table at an event, or we would go to food pantries, things like that, to give them away. And then the fourth and last item is programming by Nurture Nature. They would develop a climate and environmental justice type of educational program around that. They help us in a lot of ways, in a lot of different programs. Their staff's pretty good, and they've really helped us with our climate action plan. So that's what constitutes the 15 million.
Good, Dr. Eggles.
Have we videoed those lines to see which ones really are combined?
Mm-hmm.
Have we videoed Ferry Street?
Which block?
300 for sure.
Well, the 300 is under design for replacement. So the only reason we're not starting that project is because that's where the crane is going.
Okay.
But the 300 block is a huge bottleneck. That's the prison line, and it actually has 4 lines coming into it at 4th Street,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes down to where the Bank of America was, and then goes.
They did a diversion down there at one point.
Correct.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't hear you say Ferry Street as to one of the areas that has combined, and I've walked down Ferry Street and smelled the sewer, so I'm pretty sure it's a combined system.
I don't know if I have the whole system
Yeah.
memorized, but I know the
Okay.
bulk of it is on the north side of the downtown.
Just a quick question. You said how much amount we are going to contribute with Nurture Nature?
They're probably, for their programming, they're probably going to get about $1 million
Okay.
to do all of the educational stuff they're required to do under the grant.
Okay.
This is going to be a long rollout. It's probably going to take us 3 or 4 years if we're lucky enough to get it.
Okay.
It's very competitive, but we feel like with our partnership with the Sewer Authority, they have 6 member municipalities and probably 8 other non-member municipalities that contribute flow there. So it's a decent sized population.
While you're there, there's a number of resolutions that deal with stormwater for new projects. Optimal Holdings on the 500 block on Northampton Street, as well as 2 over on South Side. You want to just address them?
Yeah, those are, so whenever we have a development come in and they're required to build a stormwater facility, we consider that a private facility that they're required to maintain. So in addition to the developer agreement, we usually have a stormwater facility maintenance agreement. And that way they're bound, when they build it, they're bound to maintain it.
Any other questions for Mr. Hopkins?
I know we had a lot of stuff this week on the agenda. So,
Quite a bit.
thank you.
All right, moving on, Madam Clerk.
We're gonna vote, we're gonna vote
Well-
on that?
We got to vote on the MOU with the.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
And Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Resolution approving partnership agreement with the Nurture Nature Center.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
A resolution approving agreement with the Easton Women's Softball League.
So moved.
Moved in second, in discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Resolution approving Sweetie Mommy LLC for concessions provided for the 2024 pool season.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
And Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
A resolution approving the agreement with the Easton Aquatics Club for use of Heil Pool.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
We've been letting Easton Aquatics and Parkland Swim Club and Palmer, which is not an issue. Is there any way we can do some type of trade where some of their kids would want a lifeguard for us?
We try it every year. The Y tries it, we try it. Not just, kids today, they don't want the $15, $18 an hour. When I was a kid, I got $2.35 lifeguarding at Heil Pool.
425.
You're younger than me. Roll call.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
To address your comment, though, it's interesting that Parkland and Nazareth come to Easton. The Heil Pool facility is a beautiful facility. And the silver lining in switching every other day is that the people on College Hill go to the Heil Pool and see how beautiful it is. And it's a great facility. When I was a kid, it was owned by the Veterans of Foreign
VFW.
Wars. VFW Post up here owned it, and then they gave it to the city. So it's a great facility, especially for swim meets because of the topography.
We're lucky to have the pools too. I know many municipalities are closing theirs, so
That's
even
bad.
though
Yeah,
it's a limited schedule due to the lack of lifeguards, I'm happy that we're offering this
Yeah.
to kids in the community.
Wilson loved that was the pride of their borough was the
Really
Muser Pool, but not there anymore.
Resolution approving an agreement with Parkland Swim Club for the use of Heil Pool.
So moved.
Move the second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
And Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
I just remember the water being very cold in the morning,
Oh, yeah.
very cold.
A
We had swim
resolution,
practice.
a resolution approving agreement with the Blue Eagle Swim Team for use of Heil Pool.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
I'm not going to ask what a blue eagle is, but I don't know why they call it a blue eagle. I've heard of brown eagles and bald eagles. This must be. Go ahead. It's all my Nazareth people that are watching on the internet.
A resolution approving the developer's agreement for a dwelling at 935 West Nescahoning Street.
So moved.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Eddinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone? Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
And Mr. Brown.
Aye.
A resolution approving stormwater control facilities operations and maintenance agreement, 935 West Nescahoning.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Eddinger?
Aye.
A resolution approving a developer agreement with Optimal Holdings LLC for 513 to 519 Northampton Street.
So moved.
Did they go before planning commission, Mr. Hopkins? I don't remember seeing that they were on the agenda. Okay, well, eventually they will if they didn't go already. Roll call.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Eddinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Resolution approving a stormwater control facilities operations and maintenance agreement with Optimal Holdings LLC for 513 to 519 Northampton Street.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Eddinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
And Mr. Pinnabone? And lastly, we have a resolution approving a developer agreement with Maxwell's Retirement Account LLC, two-family dwelling at 1080 Wilkes-Barre Street.
So moved.
Moved in second, discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mrs. Sultana?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Eddinger?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
At this time, we have a public comment on anything relating to the city of Easton. Your name and address in 5 minutes. Anyone? Mr. Rabbits?
Artie Rabbits, 144 Church Street, Easton. I came up with an idea about how to solve the rock problem and not have benches.
Oh, good.
I inspected the rocks for the last 2 or 3 days, and I decided that if we come up with a creative back, we could drill 2 holes into the rocks and have a back for all the old folks, 80 and over, like me, to sit and watch the river very comfortably. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Artie.
Thanks for
Good
thinking
idea.
about that. I saw a family down there the other day, sitting on the rock getting their family portrait. I was really interested with the falls behind them. Anyone else like to address city council? On any agenda item? Come on. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Because we're being televised.
You'll
We're
be
on the
okay.
internet.
You'll be fine.
You gotta go through the speaker system, otherwise the people, the thousands in the audience won't hear you.
Well,
You're-
hi, my name is Sandy Chabot. I live at 933 West Nesquehoning Street, and I'm not sure if this is where I'm supposed to be talking, but the proposed building at 935 West Nesquehoning Street used to be part of the property that I just bought, and I just had some concerns, and I don't know like who to talk to as far as the developer is concerned. And
You
I-
can talk to our code officers. We'll just talk to Mr. Campos at the end of the meeting, and just, we'll relay your concerns to the code department, and they'll make sure that they check it out.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming up.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Mr. Roberts.
At the bottom of Church Street Alley,
At Larry Holmes Drive. Okay.
the developer, Mulligan, has put up fences that block your view of traffic coming from the north heading south on Larry Holmes Drive.
All right, well,
I spoke to Dwayne
Tillman?
and he spoke to Mark Mulligan, and nothing seems to happen for the last 2 weeks on that issue.
all right, we'll follow up on that tomorrow. The watermark fences are obstructing the vision for traffic. Anyone else? Good point, thank you.
No, Mayor, but before we adjourn,
Sure.
I did want to bring something back up. First of all, let me say, congratulations to everyone who got certificate. You are an integral part of our community, and we appreciate what you do. So thank you for that. And I just want to say about that is that when we do certificates and things like that, go through the mayor's office too, let the mayor's office know, and especially when some of the administration name may be on that, and they don't understand, or don't, I shouldn't say understand, they don't know that their name's on that, and they need to sign off on that, so no one is caught off guard and no one's embarrassed. That's really what I wanted to say.
Nobody should be embarrassed because it was on the agenda.
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think it was on the agenda.
Yeah, I know it was on the agenda, but Mr. Campos did not know his name was on the certificate.
Yeah, and if I may, I mean, and this is just an observation about governance, because I watch things happen. I mean, there are times that any, whether it's administration or city council, have resolutions to propose, and sometimes I believe they're actually rushed. You know, when I look at something I work on, and I could be, every day I'll change it and correct it to make a good product. You go through a process. And I think Mr. Brown's main point, it's not just that technically it's on the agenda. Everybody will be, it'll advance everybody if everybody goes over and reviews and works and gets things, gets a consensus a week in advance. You can't meet with 4 people and not violate the sunshine law, but you certainly can talk to individual council members. And when you have a good idea, which this was apparently a good idea that everyone would have enjoyed, just would have been, I think your point is, I'd like to know about a week's in advance so that when it goes on the agenda, it's going on the agenda because we all think it's a great idea and we appreciate it.
Agreed.
So it's just a statement about process, which I think
Agreed.
Good point.
everybody can use.
Not in respectful, no disrespect to Mr. Campos, but the chairman of the planning of the city, if it's coming from city council, you have the chairman of the city council on it, not the city administrator.
Well,
So the resolution was pulled out. Resolution was
Right.
pulled out. So this was mentioned under my committee
Well,
report.
I don't
And-
know.
Which
No,
it is in your committee.
I see it there. I'm
No,
not.
on the agenda.
I-
Here, I'm talking with the agenda.
I'm not talking about, I allowed it to be under your report, even though your committee does not do this.
Can you all thank those small business owners
I-
instead
hold
of
on.
getting a whole chaos?
Don't
No.
Don't turn
Hold
the
on.
table
No,
around.
that's,
Hold on, Mayor.
that's not.
Turn
no,
the
that's
table
We-
not- that's not the time to,
Oh,
to
please.
do that.
Hold on.
Please.
Please.
We do appreciate you guys. Since
I know all-
Councilwoman
No,
wants us
please.
to speak to you, I will speak to you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, none of us had an idea of what award we're giving you or for what. So you saw us. We feel kind of bad because we're surprised. I think it's a great award. You didn't get an award today from City Council. You got one that Councilwoman Sultana made up, and she put the administrator's signature on without his knowledge. The proper way would have said, hey, guys, I want to award these people. We would have known. It would have been fine. You would have got a legit city certificate with a legit signature.
And-
All we're asking is to follow the procedure. Not for you guys, you did nothing wrong.
And the chairperson.
The chairperson, just follow the procedure.
I think
that's
Mr.
all.
Pintabon is new, so he doesn't know. Everything goes to the city clerk and and I had a communication
not
with the city.
true.
This
true.
I had,
Not
and
true. That's not true.
I had an
There's no need to get heated right here.
exactly. I mean, this is a very
No,
bad
but
timing
there's
to
a
do
process.
all
You
this.
forged the administrator's
and-
signature.
And
There's a
I have in
process to
touch.
follow.
Names
We
is there, not
should we should discuss the process at the next committee meeting. But
It's every week
This
we
is
gotta do
just
this.
now. I mean, this is just a bad timing to do all this what you guys have been
Right.
doing. But I am
We
in
have to do it
contact
every
with this.
meeting.
I have in contact with city and the city clerk, and we had a communication. The resolution was pulled out, and the certification was mentioned under my committee reports agenda, and it went through exactly what it was mentioned on the agenda.
You can
You-
put,
It
you can
wasn't
go through the
put
city
on.
clerk
And
all you
I
want.
can,
But the mayor approves the
She doesn't
agenda.
understand.
Yeah,
The mayor approves the agenda, not the city clerk.
it was not put on the agenda.
And I said,
yeah, to
okay,
be
fine,
put
no
on.
resolution. You could present your certificates under
Yes.
your report. But your report does not include presentation of certificates. It's the administration committee. And
I was told
and
to
to
put
turn
under
the
your
table to
committee's
say that
vote.
I have, no, I'm not saying anything about the recipients of those certificates. What we're talking about is the process that you used, again, by yourself to present something on behalf of 7 people. not-
Mayor, I could have host this event somewhere else, and I could have presented those certificates, and it shouldn't bother anybody.
You can't-
Because
you
if
put
it's
someone
not,
else's
we,
name on it.
we can't,
You can't
nobody
put
has signed it, and nobody has
But
done
you put-
anything, and
you
I
put
talked to
Mr.
Mr.
Campos's
Lewis.
name on a certificate without getting his authorization and handed them out. I would not have an issue if your name was the only one right now.
Right,
You
and
can't present something, and look, we're not arguing with you, but you can't present something from council without speaking to council. You don't speak for me. You speak for you. So
And
all I'm
this is-
asking is going forward, just let us know.
Oh.
We support it. Just let us know. Don't do your own thing all the time.
We're all here, we're just trying to
Mr.
help.
Pinnabone and Mr. Ken Brown and Mayor Panto, all those resolutions that we just passed, right? It went to the clerk, right? And everybody read the agenda. And if anybody has a question, right, we ask question from each other or through the email. Just like any other resolution and any other bill, my proposal went to the city clerk, and it was mentioned in the agenda, and it was published ahead of time.
Every
So
other
everyone,
proposal-
everything,
Excuse me,
if you,
forgot a step.
All right,
Forgot a
let's
step.
go.
The resolutions you're talking about are coming from directors of my staff that have reviewed it with me before it goes to the city clerk. You did not review anything with me. That's why it wasn't on the agenda. It was
Mayor,
passed-
it's not a resolution, and it's not a bill.
And Ms.
It's
Altana,
just- no,
Ms. Altana,
it's-
give me 1 second, Ms. Altana, without you raising your voice. Thank
No,
you.
I'm not
Ms.
raising my voice. I'm not raising,
Okay.
I'm just trying
I'm
to,
trying to, may I?
because,
May I?
let me finish, Mr. Ken, let me finish. Because this is an ongoing issue.
Correct.
Okay,
And we're
it is
trying to
an
help you
ongoing
through it.
issue. Whatever is presented or whatever is proposed, it just goes that way. It should not be that way because I'm a council member, right? I'm elected by the people, and I can honor any small business,
You can. You
and
can.
we should.
But you just got to tell us.
And we should, if it's in the agenda, it's telling
Ma'am,
everybody.
All the resolutions we got came with like 80
Miss-
pages this week
Miss-
for us to read everything. You gave us nothing.
I
Ms.
didn't
Altana,
read
I'm
any
just- I
certificates coming
agree.
into
One
this
at a time.
meeting.
I didn't
So
either.
it's
Mr.
not-
Brown
no.
has the floor.
Ms.
Yeah,
Ms. Altana.
But your
Ms. Altana.
certificates were not part of the packet. How
Right.
are we supposed to know what is going out?
We-
And you put, I'm sorry, but you put these business owners in a weird position to be
You
here
did.
with
That's
us
what I'm trying to
arguing.
say.
No,
Yes.
it,
But Ms.
you know
Altana,
what?
may
And
I-
I'm
Ms.
sorry
Altana,
that you have to
I've
listen
been
to all of
trying
this.
to.
This is ridiculous.
I've been trying to say.
yeah, I'm
all of-
sorry, Mr.
Ms.
Sorab.
Ms.
Remember, we
Altana,
talked about this.
All right,
Ms.
let's go.
Altana.
She's
May I
Yeah.
please? All I was doing,
Mr. Brown has the
again, trying to help you along so the process is smoother. And so that we all understand that absolutely spot on. Great opportunity to recognize the people in the city that are hardworking people. Absolutely. But in the interim, all council members must know what's coming forward. It's a process, and the certificate should say by right who the chairperson is for that committee. That's how it's
We
supposed to flow.
agree with you doing it. I mean, the poor
Mr.
people,
Ken,
they didn't even
excuse
get a
me.
certificate.
Mr.
from the city.
Ken,
I
if you
would
would
have
have
liked an
really,
official
if you would
certificate
have
from you.
really
Get one.
care about the process, you would have reached out to me and not to ruin the honoring the
know.
small businesses.
I
You would have reached out to me.
I did not know. I'm
Ty, but the poor
sorry.
people didn't even get a legit city certificate. There's other businesses with legit.
What do you mean a legit certificate?
Doesn't have a city seal.
That's what I was
It's not a
saying
city
earlier.
certificate.
Yeah, I know.
Downloaded
Yeah.
that.
So if you would have told us, we could have made them and we could all celebrate it. It's not about giving it to them. They deserve it, especially the guy in the corner. I don't know when you started making those empanadas for breakfast, but they're amazing.
Great.
Spot on.
So
Spot on.
it's great, but let's give them a real
So
certificate.
again,
Let's
Ken,
do it
thank
right.
you so much. Appreciate, for your
I'm sorry if it
businesses
wasn't
and
followed
bringing
the
the
right way.
economy to our city. And your hard work and your contribution is truly appreciated and recognized.
I have no confidence in it.
It's recognized by me, and nobody, if they want to recognize or not, but it definitely recognized by me. And, as a first elected Asian American, I do.
I'm tired of
Excuse
hearing
me, can you please,
That's so
can you
stupid.
please let me talk to?
I'm the first Italian mayor. Does that make it be any better than you? No. Cheese and crackers. We're all Americans.
So, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You all are part of our city. You all are part of our economy. So, thanks again.
You should have got an official certificate.
These are the official certificates from Councilwoman Taiba Sultana. Thank you so much.
Mayor, hold on.
I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm going
finish
to go
up.
out on a limb. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. But at this point, I just got to say what my heart is saying. Miss Sultana, I've served this city for almost 27 years in different capacities. And all of my years, I've not ever dealt with what I've dealt with over the last 2 years. It's to the point right now that I, Ken Brown, have no more confidence in you.
Second.
Me neither. Thank you.
You don't have confidence in
Because 20 years should be enough to recognize your community. And if you're not recognizing Asian American, I'm sorry, I don't know what you have done in 20
It has
years.
nothing to do
Here,
with
can
that.
you get over this?
My tagline
She gave him
has
a fake
always been,
certificate.
we are one city in
Exactly.
one community. That means we embrace everyone.
Everybody, exactly.
But what I'm
Including
saying to you,
Asian American.
But it's not about
It's not about that, Ms.
We
Sultana.
support them. We're
We
just
have-
asking you to follow the procedure. We support you guys. She does what she wants.
No.
I'm sorry. That's all.
Because
Mayor, if
I'm
we can
elected
move
by
on.
people. I don't have to ask anybody. But yeah, it was sent out to the
You're right.
council.
I have no
It's in the agenda.
Mayor,
And
can
you
we
had a
move on?
chance to read the agenda.
Your
But you
voice
didn't.
is too loud for. Please
Mayor,
use decorum.
5 people
We're not
are
yelling at you.
screaming
We're not-
at each other.
Nobody's
I'm
yelling.
sorry
You are
about
the only
that,
one
but
yelling.
Very
You're aggressive.
disrespectful.
You're aggressive.
And I feel so bad
You're being
for them.
very aggressive.
Very disrespectful.
Mayor, can we move on?
It's not
Very
disrespectful to
disrespectful.
them. They got their
Very
piece of
disrespectful.
paper from you.
Mayor,
point of order.
couple things I have. Mr. Hopkins, if you can look at it for me, I've gotten complaints, 900 block of West Wilkes-Barre Street, South Side, there's a park there. Wondering if we could put a fence on the one side, the ball's going down and kids are almost getting hit by cars. If we could just look at it, 900 block, what is that the corner of, going down to Reverend Martinez's house?
oh, that's, oh, man.
Yeah.
Conjure, yes.
Conjure
thank you.
Playground.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yeah, Conjure Playground, yes.
That's another old name.
We used to
Thank
call
you.
it Conrad.
If you could just let me know, Dave, when you get a chance, thank you. Also, I want to recognize Senator Boscola, State Rep Bob Freeman. They just brought in $200,000 to the city. 180 is going to go to the medical building on South Side. Something with the amphitheater, Mayor, you probably know better. And there's
Oh,
another.
the one that's, you had a presentation from, what's it called, Health Partners? Valley Health Partners, and they're going into 13,000 square foot first floor of the Dollar General Plus store.
Right.
And they came to us seeking, in order to get them, we told them we would support an RCAP for all their equipment.
Yep.
So their equipment is being paid for by the state, and they're moving into the city, providing primary care, dental care, and all kinds of services, medical
Stop shop.
services on the south side. The other part is for the amphitheaters is just a
Shield.
yeah.
Yeah. And 25,000 for a dog park that the RDA probably already has. Mayor, moving on, touching that, Valley Health Partners, I have them setting up a table at National Night Out at Cheston.
Oh, good.
So
Great.
the community can come and meet them and get an idea. Last meeting I brought up, last committee, the PLA, I had the opportunity to speak with Attorney Clark, Attorney Campos, and David Hopkins. And we agreed to bump the threshold up from 500,000 to 750. So we bumped it up to 750. I feel I answered all their questions. I will be bringing it to the council meeting on June 12th. Joel, if we can get together before that.
There's language within that PLA itself that is,
I just need you to get with me before the 12th.
well, that's why I asked for a month last meeting, because we have a lot of litigation. Is there any pending project that doesn't allow this to get the right amount of attention and time, that it has to be on the 12th as opposed to the 25th? If you put it on the next meeting when the mayor's present, then we'll have enough time to go through.
I'll
some
tell
of
you
the
what, I'm
fine
confident
tuning.
you can get it done by the 12th.
Well,
But I'm gonna give you to the 25th. Let's do
Okay,
the 25th.
well, that's good, thank
Let's
you,
do the 25th.
thank you.
But we're not gonna go after the 25th.
No, I'll just I'll just make believe I'm the federal government, I'll put black ink through everything and, we won't have to worry about my concerns.
All right. So we'll, that'll be that, and that's all I have.
And by the way, could you send me what you sent Mr. Clark?
No, sir, I cannot.
Okay, well,
I don't want you to look at it.
no, it's, I
Mayor,
don't know if
move
it was
to
better
adjourn.
to talk, I don't know if it was better when I was going back and forth with Peter Milan or with you. It's tough to tell.
Well, it's different. I like you.
Anyone else have anything else to bring up before city
We
council?
were fine.
I move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Second, any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Dr. Ruggles?
Aye.
Ms. Sultana?
Aye.
Mayor Panto?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Ettinger?
Aye.
Mr. Pinnabone?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you, thank you.
Bring you in one second. Hey, Karen,
Yes,
could you check with some of the staffers?
They want us to look
what we're talking
at,
about?
yeah.
is there a reason to put a fence? They're saying the balls are going out